Good evening, guys. Welcome back to Car B&B. I have another video for you guys, kind of touching bases on my last video. Again, please excuse the camera quality and the shaky camera. I'm kind of new to the whole YouTube thing, so my camera might be shaking. I don't know how to flip my camera around to show y'all different things. And before I get started, I wanted to kind of show you guys some things on my laptop as far as Getaround and Turo before I get into Getaround's biggest problem and how they're gaining scammed, which is causing so many problems in their business model. Because this car theft thing is a huge problem for the company, which sucks because I actually love Getaround for my economy cars. I was doing less work when I was working with them. Everything was kind of automated. Everything was great. They was great when it came to reimbursing for BS. And for the first couple months, then it just went downhill from there. Once my cars got stolen, it was like once my cars weren't there, they stopped contacting me. You know, it was real weird. But I just got to kind of show you guys who who I am. And I've been doing Turo again for about 3 years. Getaround for about 4 or 5 months. Before that, I was dealing with exotic car rentals in Atlanta. I started off the hard way. God, I was so stupid. But I started off with a Lamborghini Gallardo, a Maserati Gran Turismo, a couple Range Rovers. I started in that market before Turo. Everything was going great, but I was dealing with a lot of things that Getaround's kind of dealing with now. And I kind of still deal with the same thing with my Airbnb business. So just to kind of show you guys, again, forgive me if I'm kind of off camera, on camera, I'm too close, my nose look too big. I know I need a haircut. I know, you ain't gotta say nothing. But these are some of my cars here. These are some of my cars here on Turo. I have about 14, 15 cars listed here on the Turo app, my Corvettes, lots of BMWs, Range Rovers, Maseratis, and on Getaround, I had 4 cars on Getaround. Of course, after I told you guys about my last video, I took all my cars off the platform after the incident I had. So I was trying to show you guys like kind of a little bit of my earnings. Show past trips, how it works. I guess I could just go into another video, kind of go over my earnings with Getaround. Anyway, so what's the issue with Getaround? Why are they going through these issues? A lot of their issues come from a lot of fraud, and it happens in a lot of big cities. Atlanta, like where I'm at, Chicago, especially California. Like I heard they've been getting ripped in California, and I've heard a few people in a couple group chats saying that they're not even accepting new cars right now because they're so backed up on claims. And again, it'll really help Getaround if they would just shoot a message to the people with pending claims, let them know that. But of course they won't, to give people a little bit of peace of mind for the claim process. But they haven't done that with me. I don't know about anyone else. But I call them 10, 15 times a week or every other week, and I'm still not really getting nowhere with my claims. But that's not what this video is about. It's about how these people stealing cars. So now I have an Airbnb business. I have about 12 homes in the city, all rental properties. Most of my homes, I have them all over, but most of my homes located near the airport, anywhere near the city, most of my homes there are subject to scam artists. And what they do on Airbnb is they create new profiles. The scammers, they have not only people's credit card information, they got their IDs, they got their personal information with their address. They have, and from what I hear, it's a whole dark web with people's information and credit card information that's floating around. So what's happening is on Airbnb, they're getting people's fake information. With Airbnb system, it has got a little bit more tight. I give Airbnb that. They still have to take a picture, but they just get random people to take pictures, and it accepts the profile. So what happened is, and I had to figure out their pattern. What their pattern is, what they do on Airbnb, they take one home. I'm sorry, they always book late at night or when it's about to be late. They're always looking for a remote booking, meaning no one's there to check you in. And they always want to check in right away. Now, why they always want to check in right away? Because they know it's a risk with it getting called by Airbnb. But about time Airbnb really figures it out, sometimes it takes them about 24 hours, 48 hours, a week. Airbnb never tells you that it's a scammer. They just say we can no longer support this reservation, which tells me everything I need to know. It's more than likely a scammer. So what I started doing with Airbnb was I started requesting, I will put it in my listing that if you have no reviews or bad reviews, you will be asked for 2 forms of ID. The 2 forms of ID can be an ID, it could be a debit card, you can block out all your numbers, your address. We're just looking for name matches. Your name needs to match your profile. So what happened was there'd be a deterrent. So 9 times out of 10, the scammer doesn't have that information. And they have excuses like, oh, my wife booked it, my girl booked it, I booked it for my brother, yada, yada, yada. And it's so crazy how these people think they're so much smarter than you. Like they swear you ain't heard it before. And no matter what, I don't allow them to go inside the home without my approval. Another thing I do is I list my address 1 to 2 to 3 houses down, and I do not post any outside pictures of the homes. Now everyone's market is different. I just know in Atlanta, I am the home of the scammers. Like, synchrony. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm in the home of the scammers. So my address is 1 street down or 2-3 houses down. Because what happened is they'll book, they'll get the address once they book, and they try to be in front of your house when they come in. And some of my homes, some of my doors are unlocked. Some of them I got keypads. Some of them I got keychains. But either way, I do not want a fraudulent person going into my home, fraudulently. Because what they do is they come into your home, they smoke your house the hell out. They steal your stuff. They throw parties. I'm pretty sure most of you know what I'm talking about. If you live in Atlanta, you've seen on the news Airbnb parties. I've had to actually throw out a rapper before. He had about 100 people at one of my houses. And he's actually known for this in Atlanta. He got kicked out of someone else's house. But I had to kick him out. He was doing a music video. It was like 100 people there. Scary situation. It was just me by myself having to go kick them out. And of course, Airbnb wouldn't want me to do that, but it's my home. The longer it takes, the more damage they can do. So 9 times out of 10, they don't pass my extra layer of security. They don't pass it. So what happened is I'll just let it sit, see what happens, see what they say. They always usually just give up once they realize I'm not budging. Now, sometimes what they do, they got some naive little girl who has real information, but the credit card is fake. So they'll have her book. It'll be like the girlfriend, she 18, 19, it's always someone young. They'll go get them a home, book it for the week with a fake credit card. And it'll go through and they will put her at risk. It's that serious for them. Like they are that serious. Instead of going to get hotels, that's what they do. They will much rather put people at risk. So every now and then they slip through the cracks. So I find myself having to watch the cameras on my Ring doorbell, watch the foot traffic. But I do a pretty good job of keeping them out. Every now and then they slip through the cracks, but I have to mention this because I realize if I choose to continue with Getaround, if they do eventually get my cars right, I'm satisfied with the payment. They pay me back pay, whatever the case is. If they get their shit together, I have to take an extra step to make sure my cars are not getting stolen. So with Getaround, let me see how much time this video is. I don't want to, talk you guys to death. Okay, we only at 10 minutes. Sorry. So now with Getaround, what they're doing is almost the same exact thing. It's just Getaround security system is way, way more lax than Airbnb and Turo. I've been doing Turo for 3.5 years. I've only had to deal with maybe one scammer and have to retrieve my car from someone maybe 1 or 2 other times, which is not bad over a 3-year period, having to deal with 3 assholes. And now if you're doing this business, you have to expect that when you're dealing with, this is what car rental companies deal with on a daily basis. That's why when Turo first came out and Hire Car, none of these people, none of the bigger companies was worried about Turo, was worried about, Getaround and Hire Car and the little guys, because they know what they deal with. They know majority of people are not going to want to put up with the bullshit that comes with renting out your car. The crack rims and the wrecks, the reimbursement, the smoking. It's not for the average person. If you're not an entrepreneur and you do not, or you have a personal love for your cars, this is not the business for you. It makes a lot of money, but it has a lot of downtimes too. Sorry to get off track, but with Getaround, what they would do is they would rent the cars that night, same thing. And with Getaround, you can rent the car for $15, $25, $30, $45. They'll rent the car late at night. They know it's a remote access to the car. So they'll rent the car, use someone's fake information, fake everything. And the way I can always tell, because they never take a profile picture, or they profile picture some bullshit. It's like some pictures of some waves or some fucking palm trees or something. You know what I mean? Some gimpy shit. It's always weird like that. So they always got profiles like that. They always have 0 trips. That is your main thing. If you're continuing to get around, you have to take extra precaution for people with 0 trips. If they got 1, 2, 3, I'm still taking a slight precaution, but not like those 0 trip guys. Now, every new driver will get around is not a thief, or they're not gonna wreck your car. But because this is an asset for us, we have to treat them as if they will. So with me, I have several steps that I would take almost the same way I would do with Turo. And like I said, Turo does a better job with their security system, because not only is it very difficult to trick their system, but they also require you to take a picture of your license and a picture of you holding your actual license. So even if you got fake information, they still got your face. You're still out there. But with Getaround, they have steal the person's information, take their information. They'll book always around 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10, 2, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. They always book these late trips to make sure they're not going to run into people. So they get the car. Now here's the kicker part. Getaround has inside people that used to work for them that hooked up the GPS system that knows how to disconnect them and rewire the car. So what they'll do is they'll drive the car far away from its home location, and they know that during their trip, you cannot detect anything as far as their location. They know that. They know you can't detect anything with the location of the vehicle. So they can travel all the way to California and back, and you would never know unless you check the miles. And still, you won't know if they took it to California. So these people know that. So what they do is, and I'm sorry for pacing back and forth. I just talk better when I'm moving. Used to do motivational speaking a long time ago, so it's a habit. Sorry. But these people know for a fact that you can't see what it is they're doing. About time, and here's the crazy part, about time you find out that your GPS has been disabled, their trip is still going on. So what happened is, let's say they start their trip on Monday, their trip ends on Thursday. They've been then disabled the GPS on Tuesday. But we won't find out that it's been disabled till after the car has returned and we notice that the car's location hasn't moved for a few hours. So, and by the time you go to the location, they always leave it in like a park. They leave the GPS on the highway. They throw it out and they reconnect the car, and now they got a free car. And the sweet part about it is still just a rental car. Unless you as the owner automatically report the car stolen right away, Getaround treats it as if they just still got your car. They just haven't paid for it. But we know, especially in Atlanta, we know we just lost a damn car and we're never going to see it again. They're taking the car to the chop shop. They're switching out the tags on the car. They putting the Texas permit tags on it. That's another little sweet gig they do. They go get the little Texas permit tags, get one printed out, slap it on a car, and it has completely different information. They chop the cars up, they drive them, they hide them in neighborhoods. Like, look, I done uncovered all kind of shit since my cars have been missing. I know where, I can get around where probably 6-7 of their cars is located. I've been to the hood having to retrieve my car. That's a video for another day. That was a scary situation. But I know where they're keeping the cars, but this is how they're stealing the cars. And Getaround is just playing these dumb ass games like these people just not returning the cars and your car is just going to magically appear. My car, I reported my car stolen one of my cars I reported stolen about 60 days ago, one about 20 days ago. And they haven't found nothing. These people know what they're doing. If you've been reading up on some of the news articles in Atlanta, they're actually stealing luxury cars this way too. They know how to unlock the cars. My homie named Rashawn Mills. Check him out on Instagram. He had a G-Wagon, a white G-Wagon. He has a nursery for kids, academy. The people pulled up in a white van, parked like on the side of it, programmed the key to unlock the car, put the new key in it, and drove off. Like, the car theft ring is serious here in Atlanta. It is serious. It is so bad. And I can tell with Getaround, they just don't really have no experience in that. It's like, well, why would people put their information out there and just steal cars? It's not their damn information, and it's almost no risk behind it, because if they get pulled over, it's still technically under a rental agreement with Getaround. Getaround has not sent them the letter to return the car, which when you do the letter, it gives you like 10 days to return the car before legal action is sent against you and a warrant for your arrest. But these people are fake. They're not real people. There's no one to arrest, my guy. There's no one. So all in all, this is their biggest problems facing, 2020. And right now, from what I hear, they're not putting on new cars. That is for the best. Now, will they close down? I don't know. I hope not. Because it's like I said earlier in the video, despite all the BS and the shit I'm going through with these cars, their system works. My God. Like, if they can filter out at least 70% of the claims or bullshit, they are a great company. Like, their system works. What they better hope is Turo doesn't catch on to that program or how they do it, and they start doing it that way too. They do that, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Turo has a way better security system, and I'm not saying they perfect. Turo got their own damn problems, and they got their own issues. You see it. They have a worse rep than any of the car sharing companies, but they're getting better, and I see the progress. And one thing I like about Turo is they update you. So, that's that's not just my take. That's my situation. That's what's going on. I hope someone from Getaround actually sees this. It's really important to get that done. I'm actually rooting for Getaround. I already know what it is. I know how it is to start a new company. I know how it feels to, you don't know. All this stuff is unforeseen. They thinking we got GPSs in the car. We background checked all the people who installed them. They just thinking everything is all good. They think everything's sweet. And how quickly scammers pick up on something is mind blowing. But hopefully they get it right, man. And like I said, I'm gonna be posting more content. I'm probably gonna be posting daily videos, a couple of videos in the cars, how I started off, how I got financing for most of the cars. I'll probably start doing more videos like that for you guys so you guys can see. But if you're thinking about doing get around and Turo and you have a soft ass, don't do it. If you get easily angered, if you're anal as shit about your cars, don't do it. It's not going to be for you. It's a lot of stuff that comes with this, guys. So I can't stress that enough with you guys to always check into every business model you're doing. I'm going to be posting videos on what to look for when your cars come back, how to take pictures of your vehicle. I'm gonna be posting a lot of content because I love car sharing. I'll be going over what I made last year. Yeah, guys, I mean, that's it, man. I appreciate you guys looking at this video. Hopefully this helped. I hope this gets to get around. I hope this helps them. And they need to fire who they hired to do their security background checks. They suck, yo. They are the reason y'all are in this situation. So please, 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 please fix it. Have a good one.